Hello, and welcome to Mr. Prez Talk Sport Podcast. I'm your host, Nick. Today I'll be previewing the ANZAC weekend of NRL and AFL matches. So let's get started. We'll start with NRL first. Right, tonight's match will be played at Penrith Stadium between the Panthers and the Knights. Let's look at the two teams. At fullback, Stephen Crichton. On the wings, Charlie Staines and Brian To'o. The centres, Kurt Capewell will play centre tonight with Paul Morosky out suspended. And Matt Byrne, the other centre. The halves, Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. Lock forward, Isaiah Go. Second rowers, Viliami Kikau and Liam Martin. The front row, Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris. At hookers, Mitch Kenny. On the bench, Tyrone May, Spencer Leal, Matt Eisenhoof. And the reserves are Robert Jennings, Havasai Coruscant, and Dylan Edwards. Coach Ivan Cleary. Knights team, at fullback, Carlin Ponga. On the wings, Stafford Toa and Brian Musgrove. The centres, Anari Tuala and Brandon Best. The halves, Kurt Mann and Blake Green. Lock forward, Connor Watson. Second rowers, Tyson Frizzell and Mitch Barnett. The front row, Dave Clemmer and Daniel Saifidi. Jane Brown hooker. On the bench, Suase Su, Jacob Saifidi, Josh King, Brady Jones. The reserves, Pasami Solo and Gimahibet Shibasaki. Coach Adam O'Brien. Match officials, referee Jared Sutton. Touch judges Casey Badger and Phil Henderson. And Henry Perinaras in the bunker. Head-to-head 50 match 22 teams. Pretty evenly matched. Knights 124, Panthers 22, 4 draws. And Penrith Stadium, surprisingly, Newcastle have a good record there. Winning 13, losing 9, drawing 3 times. Last inning counters, Penrith for the advantage 7-2 with the 1 draw. Biggest wins, Knights' biggest win over the Panthers came in 2001, their premiership year, the Knights' premiership year. Well, they won 60-18 at McDonald Jones Stadium. Oh, sorry, it was Marathon Stadium back then. Now it's called McDonald Jones. And Penrith's biggest win came in 2019 against the Knights. Won 54-10 at Penrith Stadium. Milestones of the weekend. Carlin Ponga just needs 16 points to get to 400 points. And Newcastle's kick goal tonight, they'll go past 2,500 goals in their history. Let's move on to the next game here. And I'll be tipping Penrith in this one. Let's look at the Titans Rabbitohs team. Next game, the first Friday night game at Seaver Super. Two teams. Let's start the Titans at fullback, AJ Brimson. On the wings, Anthony Don and Corey Thompson. The centre pairing, Brian Kelly and Patrick Herbert. The halves, Ash Taylor and Jamal Fogarty. Lock forward, Tyrone Peachy. Second rowers, Kevin Proctor and David Fafita. Front rowers, Jared Wallace and Mwaki Fodawaker. Mitch Rain hooker. On the bench, Aaron Clark, Jermaine Joffoli'i, Sam Lasano, Sam McIntyre. The reserves, Bo Firma, Herman SCSA, Jonas Pearson and Philip Sammy. Coach Justin Holbrook. Rabbitohs team at fullback, Alex Johnston. On the wings, Dane Gagai and Jackson Paulo. The centres, Stephen Masters and Campbell Graham. The halves, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds. Lock forward, Cameron Murray. Second rowers, Keone Kolotamagi and Jane Sewer. Front rowers, Tom Burgess, Tavia Totola, hooker, Damien Cook. On the bench, Benji Marshall, Mark Nichols, Liam Knight, who will play second game of the year, and Jai Arrow. And the reserves, Jacob Host, Patrick Mago, Dean Hawkins, Hamo Sele, and Wayne Bennett's coach. He's the coach. Match officials, referee Chris Sutton. Touch judges Ziggy Prezlik, Laska Adamski, and Michael Wise. And Ashley Klein's in the bunker. Head-to-head in 18 matches. South 12, Titans 6 at Seabar Super Stadium. Rabbitohs won 5 out of 6 matches there. And last inning counters, Rabbitohs have won 8 of the last 10 between the two teams. Titans' biggest win have both been in the same year. The two biggest wins over the only one by a margin of 8 points, their biggest win against the against the Rabbitohs. Both their scores were 22-14. And Rabbitohs' biggest win came in 2013. They won 32-4. And Aaron Reynolds just needs 6 more points this weekend to get past 1,700 points in his career. Magnificent achievement for a very good player, I think. Okay, second Friday night game. This game will be in Darwin between the Eels and the Broncos. Look at the two teams. At fullback, Clint Gufferson. On the wings, Micah Seaver and Blake Ferguson. The centres, Tom Ovechek and Marata Nakore. The halves, Dylan Brown, Mitchell Moses. Lock forward, Nathan Brown. Second rowers, Sean Lane, Isaiah Papali'i. The front rowers, Regan Gamble-Gillard and Junior Paulo. Reed Money, hooker. On the bench, Oregon Kafusi, Will Smith, Rumi Grigg and Bryce Cartwright. Reserves, Hayes Dunster, John Rankin, Keegan Grave and Ryan Madison. Coach Brad Harper. Now, Ryan Madison will probably not play because he didn't make the trip to Darwin, so he'll be playing for Parramatta's New South Wales Cup team. And the Broncos team, at fullback, Jermaine Asako. On the wings, Xavier Coates and Corey Yates. Gee, that rhymes. Coates and Oates. The centre pairing, Herbie Farnworth and Dave Mead. The halves, Brodie Croft and Tom Dearden. Lock forward, Patrick Carrigan. Second rowers, Alex Glenn and TPG, Tavita Pangai Jr. Front rowers, Matt Lodge and Payne Haas. Hooker, Jack Turpin. On the bench, Danny Levi. Don't know why he's giving another go at first grade. Thomas Legler, Ethan Bullimore, and Jordan Ricky. In the reserves, Reece Kennedy, Tyson Gamble, John Asiata, and Jesse Harpers. Coach Kevin Walters. Match officials, referee Grant Atkins. Touch judges, Liam Kennedy and Darian Ferner. Steve Chitty's in the bunker. Head-to-head between the two teams. Brisbane 133, Parramatta 26 with a 1 draw. Last 10 encounters, Parramatta's won 7 of the last 10 against the Broncos. Biggest wins. Brisbane's biggest win over Parramatta came in 1995 when they won 60-14. And Parramatta's biggest win against the Broncos came in 2019 where they won 58-0. What a disaster for the Broncos that day. And Tom Ovechek will run for his 50th game on the weekend against his former club. Okay, now there'll be 2 Saturday games on Super Saturday. 2 games just this week because there'll be a game on Sunday because of ANZAC Day. The first game for Saturday will be the Sharks and the Bulldogs from Nestra Jubilee Stadium. Look at the two teams. Sharks first at fullback, Will Kennedy. On the wings, Marani Hirota and Connor Tracy. The centres, Josh Dugan and Jesse Ramian. The halves, Matt Moylan and Chad Townsend. Lock forward, Taylor Rudolph. Second rowers, Britton Nakora, Teague Wilton. Front rowers, Braden Hamlin, Ueli and Aaron Woods. At hookers, Blake Brayley. On the bench, Billy Magolius, Sean Johnson, who will play his first game for the year. Jack Williams and Sophia Talakai. And reserves, Brian Trindle, Will Chambers, new sign to the club. Franklin Pele and Jensen Tapimpeo. Coach Josh Hannay. Bulldogs team, yet to get a win this year. At fullback, Dallin Wattiz-Lesniak. On the wings, Nick Kotrick and Tui Katoa. The centres, Will Hopper-Wate and Corey Allen. The halves, Jack Gabrielero and Kyle Flanagan. Lock forward, Corey Waddell. Second rowers, Hannah Elliott and Chris Smith. Front rowers, Dylan Napa and Luke Thompson. Sione Katoa at hooker. On the bench, Brad Dietz, Renofa Tony, Ava Silva Manafagai, Matt Dory. And reserves, Lachlan Lewis, Joe Simpson, Nick Meaney, Opahiki Ogden, Coach Trent Barrett. Match officials, referee Chris Butler, touch judges Drew Altram and John Stone, and Alan Shaw's in the bunker. Head-to-head between the two teams, Canterbury 55, Cronulla 36 for the 2 draws. Last 10 encounters, Cronulla's won 6, Bulldogs won 4. Cronulla's biggest win over the Bulldogs came in the finals in 2001, where they beat them 52-10 at Aussie Stadium. And Kansas City's winner came in 2014, where they won 42-4 at Stadium Australia. And Brian Halliwell won his 50th game as a Shark, so that more than for his 50th game as a Shark. Josh Dugan, oh wait, no. I didn't mean to say that. Okay, second game of Super Saturday will be the Cowboys and the Raiders from Queensland Country Rec Stadium. So the Cowboys team with fullback Valentine Holmes, on the wings Kyle Felt, Amro Tuolagi, the centres Justin O'Neill and Connolly Lemilu, the halves Scott Drinkwater and Ben Hampton, lock forward Lachlan Burr, second row is Shane Wright and Ben Condon. The front row is Cohen Hess and John McLean, Reece Robson the hooker, on the bench Jake Granville, Mitch Dunn, Francis Milo and Corey Jensen. The reserves Izar Masters, Peter Holler, Jake Clifford, Tom Gilbert, coach Todd Payton. Raiders team at fullback Caleb Aikens, on the wing Sebastian Chris and Jordan Rapiner. The centres Jarrett Croker and Curtis Scott. The halves Jack White and George Williams. Lock forward Ryan Sutton. Second row is Hudson Young and Elliot Whitehead. The front row is Ryan James, Emro Gula. At hookers Tom Starling. On the bench Saliva Halabili, Corey Herrera Naira, Corey Horsburgh makes a return to the team. Josh Papali, surprise in the bench this week. And reserves Matt Timoko, C.S. Oliola, Matt Frawley, Joseph Tuffany, and Jake Granville runs his 150th game this weekend. Now, Jared Croker only needs 16 more points to get to 2,200 career points. And Saliva Havili will run for his 100th game this weekend. Jared Croker's been a very good player for a long time. And will that lead him? So we'll see where he is now for the... So let's see where he is the most points in NRL history. So he will join Cameron Smith, Hazem El Masri and Jonathan Thurston to go past 2,200 points if he gets 16 points this weekend. And I reckon he could go past Cameron Smith before he retires. Before Jared Croker retires, I reckon. Okay, now to the ANZAC Day games. First game on ANZAC Day will be at Bankwest Stadium between the West Tigers and the Manly Ringers Sea Eagles. Let's look at the Tigers team first. At fullback, Dane Laurie. On the wings, Dane Norfoluma and Tommy Talau. The centres, James Robertson, Michael Cheekham. The halves, Hannon Dewey and Luke Brooks. Lock forward, Alex Twile. Second row is Joel Pengawi, Luciano Lulua. Front rowers, James Tamo and Stefano Hurtukumanu. Jake Simkin at hooker. On the bench, Mose Mbai, Luke Garner, Alex Seyfarth, Zane Musgrove. And then the reserves, Jake Liddell, Thomas McKaylee, Tom Amone, Joseph Leilua, coach Michael Maguire. Seagulls team at fullback, Tonta Boyvich. On the wings, Jason Saab and Reuben Garrick. Centres pairing, Brad Parker and Morgan Harper. The halves, Kieran Foran and Dale Cherry Evans. Lock forward, Jake Boyvich. Second rowers, Hamal Olakalatu, Josh Schuster. Front rowers, Taniela Paseka, Martin Tapau, Long Croker at hooker. On the bench, Kay Cass, Josh Alaye, Sean Kevy and Toff Sipley. And the reserves, Zach Sadler, Tavita Funa, Christian Tulapalatu, Ben Trebojevic, coach Dan Sadler. Match officials, referee and G. Touch judges Phil Henderson and Wyatt Roman. Alan Shaw in the bunker. Free match between two clubs. Manly 16, Tigers 14. Last inning hours, West Tigers won 6 of the last 4 against Manly. Hence 10 against Manly. Biggest wins between two teams. Tigers' biggest wins came both at Brookvale Oval in 2003 and 2012. 2003 they won 38-12. And same scoreline in 2018. And Manly's biggest win came in 2014. 2008 they beat the Tigers 48-16 at ANZAC Stadium. What a try scoring fest it was that night with Brett Stewart and Steve Menzies both grabbing a double in that game, as I recall. And in 2014, Manly won 40-8. Milestones of this game, and Dewey just needs 8 points to get past 100 points in his Tigers career. And Ruben Garrick will play his 50th game of NRL footy. And so will Jacob Little. Second game on Anzac Day, which went the Roosters and the Dragons, the traditional Anzac Day clash, which has been going on since 2002. Let's look at the two teams. And this going to be the SCG. Let's look at the Roosters team first. At fullback, James Tedesco. On the wing, Daniel Tupou and Brett Morris. Centres, Josh Morris and Joseph Manu. The halves, Drew Hutchison and Sam Walker. Lock forward, Victor Radley. Second rowers, Angus Crichton and Satili Tupanua. Excuse me. Front rowers, Isaac Liu and Sia Tokiaho. And Sam Burrell's a hooker. Back in your team for his first game for the season. On the bench, Ben Marshik, Jared Rea-Hargreaves, Nat Butcher and Lindsay Collins. Reserves, Fletcher Baker, Matty Kabalu, Egan Butcher, and Kapur. I can't pronounce that name, sorry. And he's the fourth reserve, and Trent Ronson's the coach. Dragons team at fullback, Matt Duffy. On the wings, Cody Ramsey and Michaeli Ravelara. Centres, Jack Burns, Zach Lomax. The halves, Corey Norman and Alan Clune. Block forward, Terrell Faramo. Second row is Josh Kerr and Tarek Sims. Front row is Blake Laurie and Paul Vaughan. At hookers, Andrew McCulloch. On the bench, Kate Ellis, Josh McGuire, Daniel Alvaro, Brian Williami. And the reserves, Billy Burns, shit. Sorry, guys. Pasasar Pharmacy, that's what I'm just going to call him. I'm going to pronounce the last name, not the first name. Jordan Pereira and Ben Hunt could make a return this weekend. Coached by Anthony Griffin. Match officials, referee, Ashley Klein. Touch judges, Todd Smith and Nat Noyan. Henry Pernara in the bunker. Head-to-head between the two teams. Roosters 22, Dragons 20 with the one draw. At the City Creek round, Dragons have advantage 2-1. Last 10 encounters, Roosters won 8 of the last 10 against the Dragons. Biggest wins, Dragons' biggest win came in 2005. Well, they won 44-6 at Wynn Stadium. Roosters' biggest win came in 2013, they won 36-0, and in 2016 when they won 42-6. And Tyrell Fayemo will run for his 50th game this weekend. And the last Anzac Day game for the day and last game for the round will be no traditional clash between the Storm and the Warriors. Then going to 2009, didn't play in 2015 because the Storm played Manly on Anzac Day. Let's look at Amy Park. Let's look at the two teams. At fullback, Nico Hines. On the wings, George Jennings and Josh Adokar. Centres, Remus Stiff and Justin Olam. The halves, Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes. Block forward, Nelson Solomona. Second row is Felice Gafusi and Kenny Romich. Front rowers, Jesse Romich, Christian Welch. Hookers, the Hectic Cheese, Brandon Smith. On the bench, Harry Grant, Tui Tanakamika, Tom Eisenhuth. Dale Finucane will make his return to the Storm this weekend. And the reserves, Dina Rima, Riley Jacks, Trent Laureo and Aaron Pinay. And the Warriors team. The Storm will coach Craig Millie. Warriors team at fullback, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. On the wings, Dave Fosatua and Cameron Marlaw. The centres, Marcelo Montoya and Jack Murchie. The halves, Coney Nicarima and Sean O'Sullivan. Lock forward, Toho Harris. Second row is Josh Curran and Ben Masilla. The front row is Jermaine Noah Brown and Kane Evans. Wade Egan and hooker. On the bench, Chad Savunga, Ben Bunty Afoa, Lisa Narmau, and Bailey Sirinen. In the reserves, Rocco Berry, Tom Ale, Reece Walsh, and Taniela Otakololo. Nathan Brown's the coach. Match officials, referee Matt Chicken. Match judges Belinda Sharp and Chris Sutton. And Steve Cheese in the bunker. Head-to-head between the two teams. Melbourne's got advantage 27-16. Hay Park, Melbourne won 7, Warriors won 3. Melbourne Storm won 9 of the last 10 against the Warriors. Warriors have not been the Storm since 2015. And biggest win between the two teams. Warriors' biggest, Storm's biggest win over the Warriors came in 2000, where they thrashed them 56-10 at the Graveyard, known as Olympic Park. So the Storm called the Graveyard because they used to bury teams there. And the Warriors' biggest win over the Storm came in 2002 when they won 28-12 at the Graveyard. And milestones this weekend. And no major milestones are reported this weekend. Okay, now the state leagues. Let's start with the New South Wales Cup matches this weekend. Panthers will take on the Knights, which is happening right now. The Jets take on Mounties at Henson Park. Eels take on the Rabbitohs at Ringrose Park. Western Suburbs Magpies take on Blaketown Workers Seagulls at Bankwest Stadium. And the North Sydney Bears take on the St George Illawarra Dragons at North Sydney Oval. And the Rays at the bye. Jersey Flag. Parramatta Eels take on South Sydney Rabbitohs at Ringrose Park. Penrith Panthers take on the Victoria Thunderbolts at Bluebet Stadium. The Cronulla Sharks take on the Canterbury Bulldogs at Netstra Jubilee Stadium. The West Tigers take on the Manly Ringer Seagulls at 2G Milner Field. And the Sydney Roosters take on the South Sydney St George Illawarra Dragons at Waverley Oval. Okay, Queensland Cup competitions. Queensland Cup competition. The Ipswich Jets take on the Central Queensland Capras. Northern Pride take on the North Devils. Mackay Cutters take on the South Logans Magpies. Freecliff Dolphins take on the Tweed Seagulls. Burleigh Bears take on the PNG Hunters. Townsville Blackhawks against the Sunshine Coast Falcons. And Brisbane Tigers take on Women Manly Seagulls. Okay, that's rugby league done. Now going to the AFL. Right, ANZAC round this weekend for the AFL as well. Round 6 of the AFL kicks off tomorrow night. No game tonight. Before we go to the AFL, I'm just going to give you my tips for the NRL this weekend. Nearly forgot. Okay, first game finished Newcastle. I'll go to Panthers. Titans vs Rabbitohs. Eels Broncos gone the Eels. Sharks Bulldogs gone the Sharks. Cowboys Raiders gone Raiders. West Tigers Manly Seagulls gone Seagulls. Roosters Dragons Roosters. Storm Warriors Storm. Now back to the AFL. And the first game of the weekend will kick off tomorrow night. No further footy until the bye rounds of the AFL. Our first game tomorrow night will be playing at Manuka Oval in Canberra between the Giants and the Bulldogs. Well, this game, I think, based on form, I've got to go the Dogs in this one. Based on form, but the Giants' last couple of weeks have been pretty impressive in those games, so I'll go the Dogs. Next game, second game of the round on Saturday, will be between the Cats and the Eagles from GMHBA Stadium. Now, the Eagles have not won in Geelong since 2006 when they came from behind to win the game, I may recall. And Geelong will have no Patrick Dangerfield. Despite no Dangerfield, I reckon the Cats will win this one. All right, next game is the Suns and the Swans from Metricon Stadium, also on Saturday. Well, the Swans have injuries. Both teams have injuries, but I think experience might do better with the Swans in this one. Carlton and the Brisbane Lions. Both have had slow starts of the year. I think Brisbane Lions put us a statement last week that. So I think I'll take the Brisbane Lions in this one. Now this will be a beauty on Saturday night. Melbourne and Richmond, ANZAC Eve game. Well, there'll be a flying with the ANZAC flying with the MCG lineup in this one. This one was really tough to call, but I think experience will matter, so I think Richmond will win this one. Fremantle and North Melbourne from Optus Stadium also on Saturday night. Well, this game, Fremantle have been playing some good footy. North Melbourne yet to win a game this year. In Perth, I have to say the Dockers in this one. Okay, Sunday, Anzac Day. It is. The first game will be played at UTAS Stadium between the Hawks and the Crows. Now this game has a bit tough to choose from. Adelaide's been playing okay. They thought they had a hiccup last week, and Hawthorn, they've not started a good start of the year, but I think signs are there. They need to improve on things. This game's in Tassie, so I have to go the Hawks in this one. They rarely lose in Tassie. Okay, next game is the traditional ANZAC Day game between Collingwood and Essendon. Now this game, both teams have not played well this year. Collingwood's been atrocious and Essendon haven't been much better. Essendon were flogged last week and Collingwood, they have not been playing well. They're sort of flip a coin. I've gone the Pies in this one. And Port Adelaide and St Kilda. Now Port Adelaide, they're flying at the moment. 4-1, sitting in the top 4. And St Kilda, they've not been playing well. They've only won 2 games at the start of the year. I've gone Port in Adelaide, so they should win this one. Okay, state leagues now. There'll be round 2 of the VFLs kicking off tonight between GWS Giants and Footscray. And tomorrow, and Saturday's matches will be Gold Coast Suns and Sydney Swans, Carlton the Brisbane Lions, South Port and Aspley in the Sandline Queensland Derby, I'm going to call it. North Melbourne Frankston, Collingwood and Essendon for Victoria Park. Box Hill Hawks, who are Hawthorn affiliates, and Northern Bull Ants. Richmond against Casey Demons, who are Melbourne's affiliates. Port Melbourne and Sandringham Amherst and Kilda affiliates. And Werribee and Williamstown. Standalone game. Standalone Western Melbourne Derby. And Coburg and Geelong had to bye. And a SANFL this weekend. West Adelaide take on Norwood. Central District take on Adelaide Crows. South Adelaide take on Sturt. Glenelg take on the Port Adelaide Magpies. And Woodville West Torrens take on North Adelaide. Okay, to the waffle now. Round 4 action. West Perth take on East Fremantle. Swan Districts take on South Fremantle. Peel Thunder take on Claremont. Subiaco take on the West Coast Eagles. And Perth take on East Perth. Into the Tasmanian State League now. Lauderdale take on North Launceston. Kingborough Tigers take on Glenorchy. North Hobart take on Launceston. And Clarence at the bye. And Naval League's in recess at the moment. Okay. No AFLW to report on this week because the season ended last week. The Brisbane Lions getting the job over the Adelaide Crows. But on Tuesday night, we had the AFLW Awards. Let's look at the winners here. The AFLW Awards. Plus the All-Australian team will go through. Okay, let's start with the... Let's start the Ryan Star Award. And that award was won by Tyler Hanks of Melbourne, who received 48 votes. Won by 3 more votes to her closest rival in Ellie McKenzie from Richmond. Leading goal kick award went to Darcy Vesio from Carlton, who snagged 16 goals for the year, the most of an AFLW player. With second leading goal kick award. Mark of the year went to the Crows, Daniela Ponta, who took an incredible lead against the Western Bulldogs in round 8. And the goal of the year went to Courtney Hodder. Who was on for that goal in the grand final was early in the season in round 9 against Melbourne, where she snagged the goal of the year. And the All-Australian team, we'll look at the All-Australian team now. The back line we'll start with. Fullback was Sarah Allen and from the Crows and Megan McDonald from Geelong. Half-back line, Ruby Schleicher from Collingwood and Kate Luckins from Brisbane Lions. And just in is the and Janelle Cuthbertson from Fremantle. The centre line, Monique Conti from Richmond. Kiara Bowles from Fremantle was named vice captain, and Georgia Petrakios from St Kilda. The rucks areas, Brianna Moody from Carlton as ruckman, Brianna Davey from Collingwood, who was named All-Australian captain, and Lise Parker from GWS. Half forward line, Jazzy Garner from Kangaroo from North Melbourne, Katie Brennan from Richmond, Ellie Blackburn from the Western Bulldogs. The forward line, Aaron Phillips from the Crows, Chloe Malloy from Collingwood. And the interchange bench, Ebony Marinoff from the Crows, Brittany Benici from Collingwood, Darcy Vesio from Carlton, Karen Paxman from Melbourne, and Emma Carney from the Roos. And the AFLW Best and Fairest Award was actually a tie between Kiara Bowers and Brianna Davey, both on 15 points. 1 point. Really into this AFLW Best and Fairest Awards. There were 4 players vying for the medal. There was actually 8 players vying for the medal. There were 2 players on 15 votes, which were Bree Davey and Kiara Bowers. The runners-up were Elise Parker and Ellie Blackburn. On 13 votes were Karen Paxton and Anne Hatchard. And Monique Conti and Brittany Benici were on 12 votes. Really close, Brown. Very close AFLW Best and Fairest was. Okay, that's where we're going to wrap up there, guys. Don't forget to give us a like on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. And enjoy the footy on the weekend. I'm Nick Mel. Bye for now.